So this time in our service is normally the moment when we share blessings of life's milestones in our families, in our personal lives. So I'm going to take a moment of personal privilege now to share with you the very happy news that a member of my family has a new job. This is our dog, Obi. Obi is named for the Hebrew prophet Obadiah, and he's the one with the new job, not my daughter on the left. So Obi has a new job as a therapy animal. You can see he's really proud of his little vest and his official credentials. We're all very proud of Obi for his new opportunity. Obi will be deployed this weekend to the dog show over at NRG. The official name of the event is the Houston World Series of Dog Shows, lest you underestimate the importance and the stature of this event. A whole weekend of events, exhibitions, and contests and demonstrations, and of course, the judging of the breeds, which is known as conformation. This is not to be confused with the photos in our hallway, where there are pictures of teenagers in white robes. That's conformation. Conformation is the best known and most popular part of a dog show, where the judges evaluate how well each individual animal conforms to the standards established by the American Kennel Club about what makes up the ideal example of every recognized breed. The ears of a basset hound, the hindquarters of a corgi, the coat of an Irish wolfhound, all of the standards and requirements are documented in the AKC breed standards, and the conformation judges go into obsessive detail when evaluating every dog that comes before them. It is great fun to watch. My favorite part of the dog show is watching the animals demonstrate the extraordinary abilities they have been trained for. The explosive energy and athleticism of the agility events, the strength and power of the police and fire and rescue canine units, the laser-sharp focus and concentration of the obedience events, and the mind-boggling perception of the dogs who can lock on to the smell of a target in the scent work trials. It amazes me every single time. Some people love watching the Olympics. Some people watch The Survivor or the Great British Bake Off to see who comes out on top. Some people can't get enough of American Idol or the Eurovision Song Contest. I don't care about any of that. But I will take any opportunity to drop what I'm doing and watch those dogs do their thing. I'm impressed, of course, by the work and the dedication of the trainers, but to be honest, I think what specifically makes those demonstrations so inspiring to me is that they represent the perfect intersection between training and practice and innate God-given ability. Just watch them. Just watch a pointer pointing, or a retriever retrieving, or a terrier tarrying. You can see it in their eyes and the expression on their faces in the smooth and frictionless way they slip into the behaviors, honed by hundreds of years of breeding in some cases, and thousands upon thousands of replications of the DNA in their cells. This is what this animal was born to do. This is what they were made for. If I'm really honest, part of what I'm feeling when I watch those dogs doing the things they were made for is jealousy, just a twinge. When I see the dachshunds and the terriers in the barn hunt event diving fearlessly into dark tunnels and twisting passageways to reach their target, allowing themselves to be guided seamlessly, intuitively by the gravitational pull of breed and instinct, I envy them. At times, if we're lucky, some of us have experienced a sensation similar to that. Maybe it's a hobby that we love. Maybe it's a conversation with a person we love. If we're really, really lucky, it's work we love that we're paid to do. And we get so immersed in doing it that we slide into that optimal flow state when the rest of the world falls away. It's as if nothing exists except ourselves and the activity or the person in front of us. We become oblivious to the passage of time. We find ourselves coasting effortlessly in a slipstream of purposeful focus. Being able to cultivate that sensation, to search for and identify and then engage in something we were put on earth to do. Although I started this evening talking about dogs, that moment is one of the highest plateaus of the human experience, that human spiritual endeavor. Not everyone is fortunate enough to experience, and even those of us who are get only flashes of it from time to time. I realize that even having this conversation about having work that is meaningful and being able to fulfill it is an expression of a rarefied sort of social privilege that not everyone has access to. But if we have the good fortune to be granted access and opportunity and ability to find a thing we were made to do, we too will sense ourselves slipping into it with a smooth alignment and ease that feels like we're praying with our bodies. There are scores of Jewish stories that talk about the great religious masters of our history, the pillars of spiritual virtuosity from across the centuries, and many of them talk about these great rabbis and sages experiencing moments of spiritual transcendence in exactly these sorts of terms. Rabbis who plunge themselves so deeply into prayer that they lose track of time and become oblivious to their surroundings. Masterful cantors who are taken outside of themselves by the chants and melodies they sing. Brilliant teachers whose study of Torah and meditation brings them to ecstatic religious experience so profound that their followers worry that they may never come back to them and return to the real world. Those experiences, those grand, transformative moments when we feel that we have gone beyond the here and now, transcending the self, those moments are not accessible only to great masters of personal spirituality. The joy of finding the purpose we were put on earth to fulfill is something accessible to all of us. A skier gliding silently through snowy lanes, or a pilot feeling himself carried by an invisible jet stream. It activates something deep inside when we're granted the opportunity to access some part of the mission for which we were built, and to feel ourselves carried as though a powerful unseen hand threw it towards something greater. I believe in God, and I also believe in human purpose. And I think that those two things are tightly connected. I think that God has hopes for us. And at times when we're filled with the sense that what we're doing with our lives and our time has meaning and significance, those are the times that we're brushing up against some part of what we were put on earth to do. I want to close tonight with a piece of poetry that you may be familiar with. It's a terrific poem, one of my favorite pieces. I want to share just an excerpt from it. It is a poem by Marge Piercy called To Be of Use. Here's how she concludes this marvelous poem. The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing, well done, has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil. Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know that they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real. You were made to do something. I don't know what it is. Maybe you don't either yet. But we're here to do great things because God believes in us. All of us are the embodiment of great hopes. We're the fulfillment of countless dreams from the generations of the family that produced us, for whom millions of tiny coincidences had to align for any of us to be here at all. We are the unwitting beneficiaries of millions of years of history, tectonic shifts of climate and migration and evolution. We're the unimaginably lucky inheritors of Jewish peoplehood. We, who survive persecution and hunger and extinction and unimaginable suffering to make it here, to a place where we can discover and uphold what we were put on earth to do. I believe that this is part of the great hope that God has for all of us, and to fulfill it is for us to express our willingness to carry it to term. On this Shabbat, on the days and weeks and months and years that will follow, may we have the good fortune to find our purpose, and may we have the fortitude and faith to uphold what we were made to do. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.